Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to take a look at a lovely W3 or Wave 3 trade setup that's just unfolded in the ES just before the US market opens today. So let's have a look at that. But before we do, I just want to remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing, or put another way, all professional traders understand, but more importantly accept, that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, I want to have a look at the ES. This is just before the market opens today on Friday. As usual, we start with the higher time frame chart. So I just want to go back in time a little bit and show you how we place our DPs on our chart. So we right mouse click over this last pivot low, we do decision point, we have a typical, and in recent builds we've added a maximum DP. If I turn trading mode off, you can see how the market went through the typical but then reversed at the maximum DP there very nicely indeed. It went up, it then made a corrective rally down. So if we now go to the shorter time frame chart, by the way, this is on the 24-hour chart, not the day session, because it's just before the US market actually opens. So if we go to the 3-minute chart, we can see how this now looks. Here's our higher time frame support on our 15-minute chart. The market made an initial rally up. We had a MTP turning blue, therefore gave us permission to look for long trades. There was a long trade here to start with. Here you can see there's one there. That went up to a VS sell, which passed the 100% initial risk level and then started to come down. So you'd probably had your stop at break even. Why? Because it had made the DP, do you see that there? It made the DP from the prior wave B high, or the prior wave B swing. So in other words, you'd probably had your stop to break even. If not, it would have been a -1 hour loss. Remember, losses can and will and do unfold. The market then declined down and then made a TS4, W3 or Wave 3 trade setup. If I right mouse click over this blue buy bar here, we do analysis. You can see the market then rallied very nicely as Pennsylvania did its latest announcement, and it showed that Joe Biden had just overtaken Trump in the polls there in Pennsylvania. Obviously it's not a result yet because it's not fully counted, but just that he took over the lead there, and that made the market rally. But more importantly, from an MTPredictor standpoint, it rallied up, but it rallied up into our typical Wave 3 WPT. Sorry, I just need to change to a normal size account as a default account. So remember, we use position size to keep our initial risk small and under control, in this case less than 2% of a sample $20,000 account. That allowed you to trade one contract. If you're trading the micro, you'd have probably been able to get the position sizing a bit closer. But the market rallied up to our first target, where a profit of approximately 8.5 times the initial risk was available. So what is a W3 or Wave 3 trade setup? It's where the market has made an initial rally off a previous major support, high or low. Remember, we use my unique isolation approach to Elliott waves. So in other words, we start our count at the higher time frame support. The initial move up would be a wave 1. The market then made a correction. It made then a minor ABC. If I place the Elliott waves on here, you can see it made an ABC correction down into here. And if I go to this pivot and do Elliott waves major, you can see that this correction was considered a wave 2. So in other words, the initial move up was a wave 1, an ABC correction into wave 2. We then look for a strong wave 3 kind swing, because the W3 or Wave 3 trade setup is designed to catch the wave 3 swing. So in other words, we're looking to come in at the end of the wave 2 to then catch the strong wave 3 swing. So if I take all this lot off, you can see when I place the analysis on here, this is why our projected target came in at the typical Wave 3 WPT, because this is what we're anticipating, a strong Wave 3 swing off the end of a Wave 2 minor ABC correction. So as you can see, that was a very nice trade there indeed, that caught the rally up there as Biden took the lead in Pennsylvania. but more importantly from an MTPredictor standpoint, it was a very nice trade setup that produced a potential profit of just over 8.5 times the initial risk. So a good example of the MTPredictor W3 or Wave 3 trade setup that's literally unfolded there just before the US market opens. Again, this was a 24-hour chart of the ES. That's why we had the data coming in just before the US market opened.